This is Mr. Jared, and in this tutorial we're going to be working in Adobe Illustrator to learn about the pattern tool and the repeat tools. So first off, this little basic t-shirt here, and if you look over in your layers panel, you will see that I locked the t-shirt itself, okay, and I have a couple extra little things, little tricks. The trick itself is this group that just blank, that is the white part of the shirt, that's kind of the fill. So what you see in this that's locked are the black lines. So that's why this works the way it does. So then I just made a whole bunch of little Nike swooshes here, rotate shapes and different colors. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to go up to Object, Pattern, 8. Now when you do that, it's going to ask you if you want to add this to the swatches panel. You can hit OK. Right? So you're going to see that it's going to be added right here on our swatches panel, added right there. And it's asking you some different options. So you can name this pattern if you'd like. There's different types of grids, some brick styles, so that it patterns different ways depending on what you're actually drawing. You might want something like this, a hexagonal. We're just going to do the simple grid. Okay, but you can feel free to mess around with that. You can change the amount of copies and anything here that you'd like. We're just going to keep it at 5 by 5. Okay. We're going to hit done up at the top, and it doesn't like it did anything, but it actually did. It just added it to the swatch. So now that is a fill. So if I select this white here and I go to my swatches, you can either do it there or up at the top. I know a lot of you are used to this. There's your pattern, and when you click on that, it fills it in. So that's pretty simple to make a pattern. And here at the bottom, I have the repeat tools. So there's the radial and there is the grid. So first I'm going to select the radial. Go up to the object drop down to repeat, and I'll select radial. When you do that, it just patterns it a whole bunch of times. There's some little options here that you can kind of play with. So you can select how much goes around the circle, the amount of times, more or less. And then this grid is how many instances. So there's some pretty simple options here of what you want to do, how many times you want this thing to pattern, not. And you can also resize it for it to be repeated, not patterned. The next one is the grid. So it's pretty much going to work the same way, except going in a circle, it's going to be a grid. So we're going to select that, go up to Object, down to Repeat, and Grid. And again, you can see this is how much thing is in between each one, vertically and horizontally. And then these little white bars kind of allow you to determine how big you want that grid to be. And you can actually cut that pattern, that repetition pattern, if you'd like, just by having this bar part way through. So this would be extremely helpful if you're doing something like laser engraving a shape a bunch of times, and you can kind of just make them all nest and fit in between one another, and then you can use this repeat tool over and over and over. Okay. The last one here is that it's going to act like there is a mirror. So I'm going to select this shape, go up to Object, down to Repeat, and Mirror. And it puts this parting line right here. Well, that parting line is the mirror. So there's different ways you can play with that. Set that to the left or right to determine how far away you want that to be mirrored. If you're done, you just kind of click off the page and you have a mirrored object. If you want to edit the mirror a little bit more, you just double click back on it, and you can see you can change that mirror location once again for it to move over.